Hey there, it's Brad, and I just wanted to give a quick commentary on this lesson, number 277 from A Course in Miracles. It is, "Let me not bind your son with laws I made." I'll read through the prayer first, and it is, "Your son is free, my Father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body. He is not subject to any laws I made, by which I try to make the body more secure. He is not changed by what is changeable. He is not slave to any laws of time. He is as you created him, because he knows no laws except the law of love." And then the lesson reads, "Let us not worship idols nor believe in any laws idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. He is not bound except by his beliefs, yet what he is far beyond his faith in slavery or freedom. He is free because he is his Father's Son, and he cannot be bound unless God's truth can lie, and God could will that he deceive himself." So, the first part of the prayer says, "Your son is free, my Father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body." So it's easy to, from a dualistic perspective, to read this as if it were somebody else. But who is God's son? That would be you. So when I read this, I read it as is, but the way I'm hearing it is, your son is free. It's like, I am free, my Father. That's a declaration of what I am, that I'm claiming for myself. I'm recognizing for myself. It starts here. Let me not imagine I have bound him, me, with the laws I made to rule the body. So what are the laws I made to rule the body? Every time I perceive that I need something, every time I perceive that I want something, every time I perceive somebody else should do something or I should do something, that's a law I made to rule the body. It says he is not subject to any laws I made, which is, I am not subject to any laws I made, and you are not subject to any laws I made, if I see a you, by which I try to make the body more secure. So I try to get the world to do something to make the way I see myself as a body to be more secure. Or I try to get me to do something to try to get the self I believe myself to be more secure. You know, it's just never going to work, because that self is not true. So this has started since, if you take the perspective of a lifetime, you could say it started before, but everything we perceive since we were little, all the needs we think we have that need to be met, and we come in with those. Babies cry, so we come in with all of this stuff, and they're all laws which I made. Okay, and then it says, he is not changed by what is changeable. So that's a statement of, no matter what I've believed, it hasn't changed me. I can be shown the process of forgiveness so that I disconnect myself from pursuing those things. He is not slave to any laws of time. This is another declaration of what I am. I am not slave to any laws of time. So it's bringing me back to where and what I am. He is as you created him, because he knows no laws except the law of love. So I was created in love. My nature is love. My nature is loving, which is always going out. It's always extending. So that's the only law, because when I choose with the ego, that's a constriction. It's not extension. and I feel it. So that tells me it's against my nature. So the only law I'm bound by is the law of love, which is given everything, and in that I receive that which I am, which is what I want, the only thing that I ever want. The other times I get confused about what I want, and so I seek for something else, and it doesn't work, which leaves me feeling more empty. I seek more. So the way that I can work with this today is just make a list of all those things that I'm seeking through other people or for myself that I think needs to happen, or I need to do, or they need to do. And I can just look at those on a list and just say, let me not bind your son with laws I made. And all those on the list are laws that I made. And I can cancel them one by one. I cancel them for me. I cancel them for you. And I claim my divinity right here, right now. And then it says, let us not worship idols. Well, everything on that list is an idol. I'm worshiping it. I think the government should be better. Or they should, whatever it is. It's, they should look out for the people, or they should, get along. Well, why should I wait for that to happen to have my peace now? Because that's what I am. I can seek that forever, and it's not going to work. It wouldn't bring me peace, even if it came true. So let me not worship idols, nor believe in any laws idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. So while I'm seeking that, I don't know myself, which is my freedom. And then it says he is not bound except by his beliefs. And yet, what he is far beyond his faith in slavery or freedom. So I could say, let's say I'm having an inner experience of stress, and I could say, well, I'm free. Well, whether I know it or not, I am. Or let's say I'm having an experience where I feel like I'm stressed out, or health is bad, physical health is bad. Well, while that's going on, I could be believing it, but it doesn't mean I'm not free in that moment. It's just that I haven't aligned with it because I'm seeking health in the body. Well, that doesn't work. We live all our lives. We try to do the best thing we can for our health, and then things happen anyway. So, and this is not about healing the body. And that may happen, but it's not the goal. Because the body is, it doesn't have any meaning. It's not our home. So it's not what I am. It's only a means for me to find that, and the way that I find it through the body is by letting go of the body and my attachment to it. It says he is free because he is his Father's son, period, the end. It is declared in my creation, I am free, and he cannot be bound unless God's truth could lie, and God could will that he deceive himself. So that's a statement that this is always perfect. It's always, we do have an identity, but it's held so perfectly for us, we don't even have to know it. Once you find it, you realize you don't have to know it. And when you don't have to know it, you're absolutely free because you don't have to seek for it anymore. It's done. When you find it, you just know that it's done. And it's the biggest joke. Because for me, I was seeking, and then it was, I realized, first of all, that I did already know, and I knew the whole time, and it was just such a joke. I said, oh my God, I can't believe I did that to myself, but there was nothing but laughter, and so it's we do know, and so whatever we have to do finally be responsible for saying that I do know and stop denying that I don't. So for me, it was a lot of seeking. It was a lot of forgiveness. It was a lot of writing. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of stuff. And today I just continue that process because it brings me back. So those are my forgiveness lessons. Anytime I feel stressed about something, I write it down. I write down how I would like it to be different, what I'm doing to try to make it different, the results I'm actually getting, and then through that process, it wakes me up. I'm actually able to see that I have put my salvation over there, and it's nothing more than a perception. So I let it go, and the Holy Spirit does the undoing for me. So that's how I work with it. So let me not bind your son with laws I made. And then the way this started showing up for me today, like when I was working with my first client, I noticed I was trying to change her mind about something, right? But only for her own good, only because it would make her life so much more peaceful. It's total crap. And luckily I was able to say, I see myself with all kinds of motives right now, and that just tells me that I have some forgiveness work to do. Because if I think that anything is not perfect 100% right here, right now, then it's just showing me where I'm still attached to my ego and believing this. And if I believe that and I seek for that and I follow that, it's going to be painful. It's going to be uncomfortable, even the slightest little bit. So I was able to, share that with her. And for my own self, so that I could free myself in the moment from having to hide it. And then, so that'll be where I do some writing today. So anyway, I hope that's helpful for anybody who's listening, if there is anyone who's listening. And I love you, and let me not bind you with laws I made. You're free, you're free, you're free. And so I wish you well.